Man v. Hue-man. August 22, 2020 by Anna von Reitz. People are not persons. Men are not hue-mans, aka hue-mans. Hue-man means color of man, in the same sense as color of law. It has nothing to do with physical color or race. It's a legal trap. It's more bullshit. This whole mantra of human rights is more entrapment, more getting the victims to dig their own graves, unwittingly admit to slave status instead of claiming their true status as free men and women. This is something Mr. Trump and a whole lot of people need to know. You're not a human. You're a man. Quote me, Grandma. People who dig into my history and the public records concerning my name will see that I did something quite odd and extraordinary back in 2011. I woke up one day and saw a UCC filing by a man in California, thank you, and I took his filing and expanded it in a way that protected myself, and every other living man and woman. In that filing you will see reference to beings with hands and feet, as opposed to persons, corporations that have no such appendages. Seems odd and sophomoric now, but at the time, it was all we could come up with to make the distinction clear. We wanted it on the record who the ultimate owners and beneficiaries of the earth are, and it's not any kind of corporation dreamed up by the Roman Curia. Not any kind of hue-man. The beneficiaries of the true God are the living, not the dead. The actual, not the conceptual. Living people, not persons. Please, stop a moment. Think. Be aware. Your name is not you. Many games have been played with your name, ugly games, games intended to misidentify you as someone, and even as something else, other than who and what you naturally are. Those playing these games are evil men, intent on stealing your identity and your rights and your assets. They seek to alienate you from your identity as a free man or woman, and yes, also to separate you from your constitutional guarantees and your other material assets. They want you to take the bait and ignorantly agree that you are a human, a term which has undisclosed, undesirable legal meanings. If you accept being called a human and claim to have human rights, this reduces you to the level of an admitted pauper and a slave. They've been working this scheme in secret for over 100 years, against all of the people on Earth. They call you hue-mans and offer you human rights, in order to deprive you of your far greater standing as who and what you already are. Free-born men and women, the natural and qualified heirs of all your countries and nations. Remember how these fraud artists conned all the churches into incorporating? By offering to give them tax-free status that the churches already had? And then claiming regulatory powers over the churches and seizing upon all the property assets the churches owned as collateral backing their commercial corporations? The human label is basically the same shtick applied to people. By touting human rights, they are offering to give what you are already owed as free men and women, only with strings attached, and noisome labels and legal admissions, and undisclosed claims to own you and your assets as chattel backing their commercial enterprises. We are owed the rights of mankind, which come from nature and nature's God, not human rights, granted as privileges to slaves and corporations. Links to Anna's articles and resources can be found in the video description box. Thank you for subscribing, liking and sharing. If you enjoy having Anna's latest articles made into videos, please consider making a purchase from Ed's website sacredintuitiveelements.com. Thank you.